Okay, so picture this. You're driving through West Sussex in England, maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago or so, and you see this guy. He's kind of small, but he looks a bit scruffy walking along the road.
Right, and he's picking up trash.
Yeah, but like really picking it up. Bags of dog poo, broken appliances, even roadkill sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Barely walks something like 20 miles a day doing this. Gets his hands all scratched up.
You'd probably look at him and think, okay, this guy's maybe had a rough go of it. And, well, you wouldn't be wrong about his past.
No, not at all. He was one of 6 kids, had these tics and compulsions, probably OCD or Tourette's, we'd say now. Grew up absolutely terrified he was gay.
And then his father actually banished him. He drifted for years, got into crystal meth, did cleaning jobs, really struggled.
Okay, but here's the kicker. The reason we're even talking about him. This guy. He's David Sedaris.
The David Sedaris, the hugely successful author, wealthy, multiple houses, decorated with serious art. Picasso's, apparently.
Right. And he sometimes hires a private jet if his flight gets messed up. The trash picking. That's his hobby. It's this eccentric thing he does.
And he's basically the center of this whole economic powerhouse built around his very unique talent.
Yeah.
Reading funny personal stories.
Exactly. And that's really what we're diving into today. His success wasn't about climbing some corporate ladder or getting the right certificate.
No, it seems like it came from just doubling down on his own weirdness.
Right.
And just refusing to stop creating his thing. He became the center of this supportive network. An ecosystem formed around him.
So yeah, let's unpack that. That's our mission for this deep dive, exploring this idea of constellating an economic ecosystem. It's maybe a whole new way to think about living and working.
Definitely. A way that's centered on your own unique creative thing instead of trying to, force yourself into these rigid boxes that maybe aren't working anymore. How do we build one?
Okay, so where do we start? Maybe define what an ecosystem even is.
Good idea. So a natural ecosystem, think of a jungle, a coral reef, whatever. It's this dynamic network, right? Everything in it is constantly responding to everything else and to the environment. It's alive.
And for most of human history, we kind of got that, didn't we? We worked with the system.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the Khoisan people in southern Africa. They thrived for millennia by cooperating with their environment. There's also this great quote from a Peruvian shaman, something like,
yeah, I think I know the one.
"Give me a fish, I eat for a day. Teach me to fish, I eat for a lifetime." But then he adds the crucial part. "Teach me to keep fish alive and healthy, and my descendants eat forever."
Right. That's it. That holistic view.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much the opposite of.
Of the modern economy, yeah. Which has been really shaped by what Max Weber, the sociologist, called the iron cage of rationalism.
Ah, the iron cage. He basically predicted that chasing maximum efficiency and wealth would lock us into these super specialized, narrow jobs.
And that these jobs would just, crush our individuality, squeeze the life out of us.
And it wasn't really an accident, this cage.
Doesn't seem like it. You look at the structure, it was pretty much designed, consciously or not, to keep a few people rich by using the labor of everyone else. I mean, the stats are stark.
Yeah, the richest 1% owning half the world's wealth or something like that.
Exactly. And the top 10% have, 85%. It's
Right.
built for extraction, not for mutual thriving.
But okay, here's the crucial bit, maybe the flaw in the design. This iron cage, it wasn't actually designed to support life, was it? Like actual biological human beings.
Precisely. Think about the classic example they use, the tenured professor. Let's call him Dr. Fancy Hat for fun.
Yeah, okay, Dr. Fancy Hat, got it.
His high-status, well-paid job seems secure, right? But it only works because it depends entirely on this invisible, unpaid asset.
Which is?
Often, historically, the lowly faculty wife. Someone doing all the essential, non-monetary work in the background.
Right, raising the kids, managing the household, doing the emotional labor, making sure Dr. Fancy Hat can actually focus on his specialized thing.
Exactly. That system seems efficient if you only look at the money part, at Dr. Fancy Hat's output.
But why is it doomed then, if it kind of works on paper?
Because it ignores fundamental human needs. It's predicated on exploiting that unpaid care work, the stuff that actually sustains us physically and emotionally, and eventually...
The person doing that work burns out.
Right.
Or just leaves.
Or the system just demands too much. And you see that now on a massive scale. Billions of people in these iron cage jobs thinking they're securing their future.
But they're actually participating in a system that's kind of eating itself alive because it ignores biology. It's unsustainable.
Totally. And the burnout is making the collapse happen faster. We're seeing huge shifts, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. Industries our grandparents thought were rock solid, manufacturing, the post office, publishing, even taxis. They're either vanishing or changing so fast you barely recognize them.
I even heard about ministers using AI to write sermons now. The ground is definitely shifting.
So just doing the same thing over and over like a robot in the cage, that's not going to cut it anymore.
Nope. What you need now is creativity, adaptability, not just following the rules. Remember Daniel Pink saying MFAs are the new MBAs?
Yeah, I remember that. The idea that creative thinking was becoming more valuable.
Right. But maybe even that didn't go far enough, because now even fancy degrees aren't the guarantee they used to be. Big companies, the really stable ones, they're getting disrupted constantly by smaller, nimbler, more creative outfits.
So what's growing instead? What kind of work is emerging?
All sorts of things that didn't really exist or were niche not long ago, like online community managers, 3D artists, UX, UI designers, online marketing analysts.
And reading hilarious personal essays to big crowds.
Yeah.
Like Sedaris.
Exactly. And maybe most significantly, the fastest growing job sector overall, home health and personal care aides.
Wow. So as the impersonal cage fails us biologically,
we're seeing this huge demand for actual human care and connection, the kind of support that, communities used to provide more naturally. It's a move away from the single job, single salary model.
Which brings us neatly to this idea of modern success being more flexible, like Emma Gannon's multi-hyphen method.
Yeah, that's a great example. She doesn't rely on just one thing. She podcasts, teaches, writes books, has a Substack, multiple streams.
And that diversity, that network effect, is where the real security comes from, she argues.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just having lots of jobs, it's the mindset, right? She adapts. She talks about it like adjusting sliders on a sound mixer.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, she tries things out, often just for fun or curiosity first. If something clicks, she turns up the heat, puts more energy in, maybe monetizes it.
And if it fades?
She just turns it down. No big drama. The key is she focuses on mastering skills that are actually valuable so her output is good, whatever form it takes.
You see that pattern a lot with people who've built these ecosystems, don't you?
Right.
Like Alex Vanden Hever, the tracker in Africa.
Right. He does tracking, conservation, he writes, trains guides. He even has his own brand of porridge.
Porridge, okay.
Yeah. But it all flows from his core passion, his creative center, and the different parts support each other financially. It makes sense for him.
So what's the underlying principle here, this self-renewing thing?
It's a concept from biology, actually, called autopoiesis. Beautiful word. It basically means the property of a living system that lets it maintain and renew itself from the inside out.
Okay, autopoiesis, self-renewal. How does that work in an economic ecosystem?
Well, metaphorically, you need three things. First, you need energy. And that's not just effort, it's your deep desire, your longing, the intrinsic motivation, what really drives you.
Got it. Energy, desire. What's next?
Second, you need water. This represents your creativity, your unique genius, and it has to be allowed to flow naturally from who you are.
So like Sedaris picking up trash.
Yeah.
That wasn't about making money, but it was maybe part of his water, his creative flow.
Exactly. That non-monetized, deeply personal focus activity, maybe that was his water. It generated the mental space, the observations, the energy for the rest of his ecosystem, the writing, the tours to flourish around it. It fed the whole system.
Okay, energy, water, and the third.
Third is space, which is basically your lifespan, your time. If you cram every minute with low-value, high-stress, iron cage tasks...
there's no room for the autopoiesis to happen.
Yeah.
No space for the system to breathe and renew itself.
Precisely. You have to consciously protect that creative space.
So it's not about just gritting your teeth and managing anxiety inside the cage. It's about creating the conditions for this self-renewal to kick in.
Yes. And the sources we looked at have some really practical ways to start doing that. The first one is kind of cool. Constellate a literal ecosystem. The advice is just... feed the birds.
Feed the birds. Seriously.
Seriously. It comes from this story about a woman named Marielle. She was a school psychologist, totally burned out, but she dreamed of starting her own creative learning center for kids who were struggling.
But she was stuck, paralyzed by the risk and the burnout.
Yeah. So as a tiny first step, she just started putting out birdseed.
Okay.
Apparently she put the feeder in the wrong spot at first, somewhere hidden. Didn't work. But then she moved it where birds flying over could see it, and then the ecosystem just happened. Sparrows came, doves, goldfinches, even some rare local parrots. And then bigger animals started showing up, foxes, javelinas, because the small birds were there.
Wow. So watching this literal ecosystem come together.
It gave her the insight and, really importantly, the confidence to design her own program for kids. She realized she was offering something nourishing, something needed, and her business took off. Waiting lists, the whole thing.
That's amazing. So the act of watching one system form gave her the mental map for her own economic one.
Seems like it. It bypassed the anxious planning brain.
Okay, that's fascinating. What's the second concept?
This one's about accessing something called the blank stare of genius, or deep green magic.
Ooh, sounds mystical.
Kinda is, but it's rooted in how our brains work. Think about people who are just uncannily effective at what they do, like a physical therapist named Bridget Sanfie, they mention.
What's her deal?
People apparently flock to her because she gets results. Even though her methods seem really simple, maybe even a bit strange, her clients call it magic.
Yeah, how does she explain it?
She says when she watches someone move, she gets a hunch in my own body, and observers notice her eyes kind of drift down and to the left,
Which indicates?
accessing the right hemisphere of the brain. She's bypassing the logical, linear, step-by-step thinking the iron cage way and tapping into a more intuitive, holistic understanding.
That deep green state of calm focus. That's where the magic comes from, the non-obvious solutions.
That seems to be the idea. It's that calm right brain state that allows these outliers to generate surprising results and attract people, like finches to Marielle's feeder. The calmness is the mechanism, not frantic effort.
Okay, so how do we use this? Is there a technique?
Yes, there's a specific meditation or visualization they suggest. First step, and this is crucial, is you have to get into that deep, green, relaxed state. Calm your nervous system way down. Settle all the mental chatter. Use whatever works for you.
Deep breaths, quiet room, got it. Calm the anxiety creature.
Then, staying super relaxed, no anxious spikes, allowed you to imagine a peaceful, totally self-sustaining natural ecosystem. Maybe think back 10,000 years. A thriving place.
Okay, feel that thriving energy inside me, like I am the ecosystem.
Exactly. Then from that state, picture your ideal life, say, 3 or 4 years from now. But here's the key. In this vision, all your true desires are just automatically funded.
Automatically funded, like rain falling or sun shining, no effortful how.
Precisely. The funding just happens as a natural consequence of the thriving system without you having to manually figure it all out.
But what if my brain immediately jumps in with how, or I need a plan, or even just gets overly excited?
That's the critical moment. If any worry or even too much excitement bubbles up that analytical, planning, iron cage brain trying to take over, you have to gently notice it, calm it down, and return immediately to that deep green peace. Don't let the how brain interfere.
Just stay in the feeling of the thriving, automatically funded ecosystem.
Yes. Repeat that daily. Just soak in that state. The idea is if you stay there long enough, consistently enough, you almost can't stop systems of energy and value opportunities, connections, resources from starting to constellate around you.
Things will just start to pop into your awareness.
Yeah.
Related ideas or people.
That's the theory. Non-obvious solutions start appearing because you're operating from that deeper, more creative level.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the big takeaway here isn't just manage your anxiety better so you can survive the broken system.
No, not at all. It's about shifting focus entirely. Create the internal conditions for autopoiesis, for that self-renewal to happen naturally. Focus on living a life aligned with your purpose, your creativity.
And then earning a living becomes a natural outcome of that, rather than the primary stressful goal.
Exactly. When you operate from that place, you tend to build multiple streams of income more organically. The financial ups and downs feel less terrifying, more like seasons changing, tides going in and out.
It's a living system you're tending, not a machine you're forcing.
Right. And when it starts working, it can feel genuinely magical, like the world is somehow reaching back towards you, helping you out.
It reminds me of Philip Pullman, the author, how his heroine reads that magic compass, the alethiometer.
Oh, yeah. How does she do it?
Not by intense effort, but by gazing at it in a particular lazy way that creates a deep, calm enjoyment. That's when it works. The power is in letting go of the struggle.
I love that. Deep, calm enjoyment. That state turns you into a kind of natural attractor for what you need, doesn't it? Without the frantic chasing, the opposite of Weber's cage.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is this. Your career, your life beyond just anxiety management. Maybe it's not about more gruesome effort inside that cage.
Maybe it's about letting yourself get lost in that deep green magic, focusing on your unique flow, like David Sedaris, maybe, just walking along whatever road feels right to you, cleaning up your little patch of the world.
And just musing over what amazing thing you might create or track or constellate next.
Yeah. Find your deep green peace first, and trust that your own life, your own ecosystem can find its